All right, what's going on, guys? It's Mike or Geekermon. Welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be talking about OBS and how you can utilize it to film your YouTube videos. Now, there are a lot of guides out there. Honestly, way too many guides out there. But none of them seem to cover what I think is the most important part of filming your YouTube video. And that is capturing both your face cam, look at that face, and your gameplay in sync all at the same time. Now, many of you may have some microphones or a webcam that you like to use, but I've noticed that there is a huge gap when it comes to getting all of these things onto one video track. So before we jump into that, if you're interested in checking out what kind of gear you should use, head over to mycreatorinsights.com. This is a website I designed myself in hopes of being an all-in-one stop for content creators. You'll see everything from how much do I charge for a sponsorship to AI tag generators and title generators. You can research tags for any YouTube video and immediately copy them to your clipboard. But you'll notice over here on the left, there's a number of free tools, copyright-free music that you can use in your YouTube videos or your live streams, a list of the best tools and software available on the market today, and the essential gear list. Like I've said, I've designed this website to be a one-stop shop, but there are a number of the features that you get for free. All right, so you got your webcam, you've got your microphone, you've got your computer, but how do you get OBS set up to where you get all of these things recorded in sync at the same time? So in today's video, we are going to be covering my settings for OBS, and if we come down here to quality, I usually output at 1080, 60 frames per second. Now for non-gaming videos, you can of course drop that down to 30, but for 60, I feel like it's just a little bit smoother. All right, so let's head over to OBS. I'm gonna show you guys the settings that I use. Feel free to follow along with this. And like I said, check out My Creator Insights. The feedback from you guys has been phenomenal on the site. We've got multiple features in development coming soon. I'm super excited to continue building out this website for you guys. All right, so jumping over, hello, welcome to my OBS window. Now, if you've never used OBS before, I'm not gonna do a full beginner's guide on it. I might do that in a future video, but today I'm headed for full practicality. How can I start posting now? All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do if you're using a one PC setup is you're gonna wanna add a source. You'll probably only have a single scene over here on the left side. You can build that out into a bunch of different scenes if you're filming different games, or you've got something like a stream deck and you wanna be swapping between side-by-side and Facecam zoom, hello. But my recommendation is just to start with a single scene. So you've got your scene, you'll probably have an empty list of sources here. I'm not gonna hide all these because then the video would just be a black screen. But the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna right click, and if you're filming on a single PC, which means your OBS is running on the same desktop that you're trying to record, you're gonna wanna go to display capture. As you can tell, this display capture here is what you guys are seeing on the screen. Now, I have a 2 PC setup. I can show you guys that in a future video, but if I were to hide this layer and unhide it again, it'll bounce back and forth between my second PC. And that is because down here, I've got the gaming PC wired in as another input. Like I said, 2 PC setup, a little more advanced, we'll cover it later. For now, all you need to do, add that display capture. If you come into the properties, I use just the automatic capture method. If you don't see the proper screen, say you're running a 2-monitor setup, you can drop this down. You notice I've got 2 monitors here and I wanna select the one that I'm trying to record. Up next, you wanna add again, and this time, you're going to add a video capture device. Now, I have my camera feed right here. If I come to properties, I use the Camlink 4K. It's over in the essential gear list if you wanna check it out. That is so that I can use the DSLR as my webcam. But if you're using a webcam or you're using the SparkoCam software, all of that stuff will show up here under the video. I like to leave mine as the device default, but feel free to mess with the resolution, mess with the FPS. I have a number of different webcams, and so I'll probably do a video where I step through how to do a USB webcam versus how to do a DSLR. There's a lot of detail, so right now I'm trying to stay focused, stay high level, and give you guys the very basics. As those videos are posted here on the channel, which make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them, what I'll do is link those down below. I have about 75 videos that I want to make for this channel, and getting more granular on some of these things is on the list. But for now, you've got your display capture and you've got your camera. And so you're probably asking yourself, Geek, how do you have side-by-side and why do you have side-by-side? If I were to open up the settings here and click on video, you'll notice that I've set my base canvas resolution to 3840 by 1080. That is 1920 by 1080 double. My reason for doing that is very simple. I wouldn't do it for a live stream, but for filming YouTube videos, I like to have full control over both my screen and my face cam. So what I do is I create a double wide canvas and I put the face cam on one side and the screen capture on the other. What this allows me to do is in post, in editing, and if you haven't watched the video on how to edit a YouTube video, go check it out. What I can do is drop this down and put it right here, which also it's in the back, but let me move it up. Bam. This is what it will likely look like in the YouTube video, right? But that's not what I want for the capture. What I want is the higher quality, full screen capture of both Facecam, and gameplay. This also allows me to hide the Facecam whenever I want. You'll see YouTubers a lot of times that will cut their Facecam away and you just see the gameplay. How do they do that? Well, you either record separately with a different instance or you go side by side. All right, now for audio, I use the Go XLR. This is what the UI looks like for that. Again, probably a more detailed video, but what you need to know is when you're setting up your microphone like this one that I have here, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you're capturing this microphone audio, and I personally like to capture it on a separate track from the video. What does that mean? Well, if I'm in a game and say I'm playing Call of Duty and it gets extremely loud, when I'm in post and I'm trying to edit my voice and my voice ends up being too quiet, I said something funny, but I was leaning away and the game was really loud. In my opinion, it's always best to separate as many elements of your YouTube video as possible. And so what you can do is you should see your microphone and auxiliary. If you don't see it, even after you've plugged in your microphone, what you want to do is drop down the 3 dots and hit properties. This will give you a list of devices. You'll notice I have a lot of my Go XLR devices in here, but the chat microphone is currently the one that my microphone is wired through. If you just plug in a USB Blue Yeti into your computer, you should be able to drop down device and go right to your Yeti, click on it, and then click OK, and you can go test, 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 and you can see the waveforms happening there. That is how you know everything is working properly. All right, now you'll notice I have a couple of other different things. A few of these are unused, probably need to hide them. Camera feed, Chrome. I honestly only use these right here. And the second mic is where I usually will pick up chat. All right, so taking a look at game audio, let me come back over to my gaming PC here and just open something up on Steam. I'll show you guys at real time. If I hide this back behind and say I kick off Apex Legends, what you'll notice is that the waveforms, as soon as this game kicks off, are gonna show. If you only have one PC, you're not gonna have to worry about the game audio here. All right, so you can see the waveform happening for the game audio. If I hide the display capture, this is what I see in game. So what that means is that as I'm playing, the game audio is coming through on a separate track from my microphone. And then if you're a one PC setup, what you'll do is you'll have a desktop audio track and you're gonna right click and hit properties, and that will usually be your default output. That's whatever's playing through your speakers, through your headphone. In a one PC build, that's gonna be the desktop audio, hence why it's labeled desktop audio. All right, so we have these 3 tracks, and you'll notice I have a second mic. I can get into that later with chat and trying to separate everything out. I'm gonna have to do a whole video on Go XLR and splitting up all the audio. I might even have to get out a camera and film back behind my PC. It's that detailed. Keep it simple. Don't overwhelm yourself with the amount of technology that goes into trying to film a YouTube video. All right, so if I come over to YouTube and play some relaxing jazz instrumental, you'll notice over here on OBS, my desktop audio is picking it up. Leave me a comment if things are not working for you properly, and I'd be happy to help you debug, but make sure you're on the default device, and then in the bottom right on your sound bar, open up your sound settings and look at what your output device is. If that is not set properly here, you're probably not gonna hear anything in your headphones, and you surely are not gonna hear anything in your OBS window. All right, the jazz was beautiful, thank you. Okay, so the last thing, you just hit record, right? You're good to go. False. What will happen if you hit record is that all of your audio tracks will likely get merged into one single track. How do we fix this? Well, what you're gonna do is drop down on any of the audio mixer tabs and go to Advanced Audio Properties. This is gonna bring up a window that will give you full control over all of the audio aspects of filming your video. On the very right, you're gonna notice tracks. MP4 recordings specifically allow you to film multiple tracks within the same file. And so you see where I'm getting at here. I'm separating the Facecam and the gameplay, and I'm separating out all of the audio tracks. Full control when we move things over into Premiere Pro. Go check out the how to edit a video, and you will see when I drag my footage in, 4 audio tracks get pulled in along with it in the same file. This prevents redundant work. It prevents you having to record your mic separately from your Facecam and make sure things are synced and aligned. No, we're simplifying all of that. And so what I like to do is use track 1 as everything. That's the catch-all, and that's usually what my stream output hears. If I'm playing a YouTube video or I'm playing a game or I'm talking, all of that I want to go to my audience. And so I get to select track 1 as the stream output track. I'll show you how to do that in just a sec. But beyond that, I want to separate things out. On the second track, I like to have my microphone. That's this guy right here. It's what you hear. On the second track, I like to have my second PC's game audio. For you on a single PC, that will likely be just your desktop audio. And then I go desktop audio on my third, and a lot of times I will set up chat on my fourth. Now, I haven't played with friends in quite a while. You guys know I'm retired now from the YouTube game, but I'll get that set back up soon so I can show you guys with Go XLR how you can capture both Discord and party chat audio. All right, so we've separated these out. I will say make sure and adjust your levels. You can do it in Premiere, but you don't want, hey, what's going on, you guys, and too loud. Watch for the red. I like to push it up very high, but you don't want to go too high. You'll start hearing crackling. It's just not good. All right, so the last thing, let's look at the settings here. I'll walk you through my settings because that's always the thing I care about the most, and I'll probably link the timestamp to this down in the description. These are my settings for filming a YouTube video, 1080p, 60 frames per second. I'm just gonna scroll through everything. anything. I don't usually touch anything here on the general tab. I think most of that is for how it's viewed, what the UI looks like for the OBS window. For stream output, you can connect your YouTube channel. You can also connect Twitch. We'll do a live streaming video at a later time, but just know that you can connect it. And over here on the right, you can hit start streaming and boom, it'll connect to Twitch or your YouTube Studio Manager. All right, so coming back up to settings here. The third one is output. Now this is an interesting tab. You'll see streaming, recording, audio, and replay buffer. So on the streaming tab, you get to select which audio track you want your audience to hear. And so you can tell I have audio track 1 and I'm using the NVIDIA encoder. I got a pretty good graphics card, and so that's the encoder I've chosen to use. Now the settings for live streaming vary per YouTube video and per what you watch, but these are the settings that I personally have had the most success with. My internet's around 100 megs per second, and I have spent hours trying different settings, and this is what I landed at. I will say the biggest thing is probably to change this from VBR to CBR. All that does is keep the bit rate constant. What this means is that your video is not going to be changing bit rate as you're playing through it. In Premiere, this is a nightmare. You'll have major desync issues if you don't do a constant bit rate. It's best to have frames skipped than to have frames out of sync and when your computer is trying to catch up. Now, I go 6500. I know people that have beast PCs and go like 10K, 20K when they're live streaming. I've found that Twitch downsizes everything to 720 anyways, so 6500 with a keyframe interval of 2 seconds, that is where I have found the most success. I also like to do the slow, good quality preset. I'm not gonna try to get super technical with what the tuning or the multipass mode means, but I'll tell you after 500 YouTube videos on how do I do OBS, this is where I've landed. Feel free to give me some feedback if you found something that works better or doesn't work for your channel. All right, so recording tab, very interesting. You need to make sure and change your recording to MP4. Then you're gonna wanna set your audio tracks. Only select the tracks that you want, otherwise you're gonna have 6 empty tracks that you're deleting every time you're editing a YouTube video. Again, NVIDIA graphics card, and I like 1920 by 1080 as the output, but I'm not rescaling it. The reason for that is that's gonna cut off all the 3840 by 1080, so I don't bother with the rescaled output. All right, coming down to audio, basic settings, my sample rate is 48 kilohertz. And stereo, this is where you have control over your devices. This is a nice page to have one page where you can click, all right, I want the default output, I want this as my microphone, this is the chat mic, and I'm good to go. A couple of other smaller settings, I don't mess with these too much. I try to just get the basic things working in OBS because anyone who's worked in it a long time, you will likely have found that the more you mess with things, the more you can mess things up. All right, so coming over to video, 3840 by 1080 is gonna give you that double wide, put the Facecam on one side and the gameplay on the other. I don't downscale, so I just do resolution match. Keeps things simple, and I like to go 60 FPS because that's what my graphics card produces. You can change this if you've got a different graphics card or if you're using some other kind of software to record. All right, so that's it for settings. I want you guys to try to set this up. This will be the best way to film a YouTube video, and like I said, I have a video on how to take this from filming over into editing. It's a much longer video. It's got a lot of detail for you guys. I'm still navigating how to get these videos pared down, but I want to give you as much information as possible because like I said, between my creator insights, go check out the website if you haven't. We've already had a ton of you guys sign up. If you're a Patreon member, you get access to the website, but you also get access to a Discord channel where you can ask questions around OBS. You can get feedback on your thumbnails and your titles. We are building the ultimate content creator community. So definitely check it out and come join us. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'd be happy to talk with you guys. I'm really excited to see this channel build out where you can go from your idea to filming to editing to posting to analyzing your newly published video. And I'll be here alongside you the whole way. So thank you guys for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos on how to grow your YouTube channel. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.